3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck. Starting off with ordinary plus everything in this mission is addition. We have 10 questions to go through, 60 seconds that refills to go through them. So how this game works, especially in mission mode, is every single question gets harder progressively as you go. So we have numbers like 13, 14, and we were using 5 numbers to get through them. And then we eventually get to the point where we use 4 numbers out of the 9 that we have allotted to us. Sometimes you'll see these questions that take all 9. Not in this mission though. There we go, that's ordinary plus. Next up is orderly minus, which is all subtraction. This
Yeah.
one's a little bit nice in that it always starts in the center. And again, it starts off easier, keeps getting harder and harder, more numbers used, more operations used, the later you get into the mission. 23, that's 1, 3, yep. And yeah, you see that this is a math game, and it's a very, very quick math game. And this is not easy. See if you can figure out some of these questions for yourself. All right, that's 17, orderly minus finish.
Yeah. See if you can beat me to the answers.
Yeah. It's hard, but I've done it a couple times. All right, on to mission 3, only multiples, where everything's multiplication. We've gone addition, subtraction, now it's multiplication. And we get to larger and larger numbers, 56, 63. A lot of these numbers are pretty easily factored out, so you can use that to figure out what you need to multiply, like that. Yeah, 9 times 8, 9222, you get 72. All right, on to quick shot, mission 4. This one is a little bit easier in that you only have 2 numbers per questions, 3 tiles to go through. But the hard part is that it's 3 seconds per question. Good luck. Yep. And yeah, there we go.
You'll see me guessing on some of these because it's only just 1 operation with 2 numbers.
Yeah. It's not super slow to just guess and go through everything. All right, going into triple nines. This one's a little bit interesting in that it is you see on the left that's not a target. This time it's remaining. We start at 999 and we subtract as we go to get to 0. And yeah, every single number that we make subtracts from the remaining, and we need to get it down to 0 exactly. The very end, it gets down to 0. And something interesting as well, and a little tip, if you will. It's almost always nicer to multiply at the end because that gives you a large number. 112, starting from around here, we start to get numbers that add up to 58. 50, there we go. 58, nice, exact. All right.
Let's see if we get any nice numbers in this effective power mission.
Effective power. You can see what we've done. We've done addition, subtraction, multiplication. Now we get exponents. Everyone loves them. It starts off pretty easy, and then it gets harder. You start adding in other operations to the mix. And you really kind of want to memorize 2 to the 9, 3 to the 6th, 4 to the 4th, 5 to the 4th.
I was really hoping we'd get a 727, but no.
Yeah, you know that you don't get that every single time. All right, on to just 4. Only 4 tiles, but you can go through them multiple times, which is a little unique for this game, where you can only go through each tile once usually. Not quite super difficult, but it can be hard to get exact numbers that you want. Sometimes you just go back and forth and it gets it perfectly. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. 26 is going to be there. Nice. 36 minus 5 minus 5. 26. On to mission 8, changeable marks. Everything starts as plus. And you're like, how do you get everything with addition? You don't. You can change the operations by tapping confirm on them, and you can change them between addition, subtraction, and multiplication. There's a lot of solutions to some of these, and it's fun to look for multiple. But in runs and when usually playing, you only need one solution, so that's what we'll be looking for there. Yeah, 9 times 9 plus 1, 82. Like that one, there's probably multiple solutions. I couldn't really tell, but yeah.
That one was a bit rough.
Some of these are difficult. Oh boy, you get a 98. 98 is notorious for being difficult, at least in the very last mission. Alright, changeable marks. You can change the marks, and let's go to number 9, hidden cells, where the marks are hidden this time. Yeah, the operations are hidden, and you can only kind of guess what the right... You can kind of guess by the calculation to the right what the operations are. Yeah, some of these are difficult to figure out. Some runners, for some reason, can just look at it and figure out what it is. I can't do that. There we go. Nice.
Minus times. Okay. That second question was rough.
Yeah. Some of these questions are difficult just because you don't know what some of the operations are. Alright, blank card. You can change the operations? No, this time we can change the middle number. So we can enter anything between 1 to 9. We can enter it with the number row up at the top of the keyboard. And you kind of just have to figure out how to press keys quickly in this one, because you do have to use the arrow keys to control, and then use Z or Enter, I believe, to confirm and start your chain. So you kind of have to figure out how to triple wield the number row, the arrow keys, and the Z key. Or use a controller, because you can also play this game on controller, believe it or not. There we go.
No.
2 more.
Got it. That's... No. This one's not being nice.
This one's not super nice, yeah.
I'm making it.
Let me see.
That's what it is, okay.
What?
That was...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not super fast.
90. Yeah. Happens. There's 24 missions. Some of them are bound to not be super fast. If you're super fast, some of these, well, they're not going to be super fast. Some of this is RNG as well. Alright, into Brain Shock. This one is very interesting. There's 12 questions, and you get 10 seconds per question. You have to get at least 6 of them correct to move on to get it cleared. But in speedruns, you want to get them all correct, because the faster you solve these questions, the faster the time runs out, and the faster you get on to the next question.
That sucks.
Yeah, but if you don't get them, not a big deal. Just move on and keep going. Alright, nice.
Alright.
One more. Nice.
Sometimes I just accidentally enter the same mission that I was just in.
Oops. Happens sometimes. Not a big deal. Alright, on to mission 12, large field. So, up to here, everything's been 3x3. Now, welcome to this game when it's 5x5. Yep. Yep. I can't say anything more than that. This one's difficult, as you can see, just because there's a lot of information on the screen, and a lot of these solutions end up being 9 tiles or more, even, and that's not really easy to work with. It's also just hard to find on the 5x5 grid. There's 13 numbers, 12 operations to work with compared to the usual 5 and 4, and...
Yeah, and I look for solutions that are just the length of 5 tiles. But
there is an achievement for getting like 21 plus tiles in one solution, which I do not have.
Oh, I'm having a hard time with this one. There we go.
26. Nice. All right, moving on. We have secret target. This one, you see on the left, that's a question mark. The target is hidden. So we've had hidden operations, we've had numbers that you can change. Now we have a hidden target. You can only see on the right the calculation says large or small, higher or lower. And it's always a number between 10 and 99. It always says large or small, and you kind of just have to guess which one it is. And sometimes you don't sometimes you get it first try, and I don't know how you even do that, but like
Practice.
sometimes it's the thing that you do. All right, moving on. 25 attacks. We have on the left you see the target. We make every single number on here from 1 to 25. You can always make at least one number with the grid that you're given that hasn't been gotten yet. You can't make numbers that you've already gotten, so you do have to get a new number, or else it does not move on. And there is no skip button, so you kind of just have to figure it out. As it goes on, it gets harder. The problems get a little bit harder, and you also have less targets to work with. So you have to figure out which ones to prioritize, go for first, or you can just go with whatever, which is what I usually do.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
Yeah, if you see a number, just go for it. That's how I usually do it. Nice.
Alright. This next mission is my water break, so make sure to stay hydrated.
Mm-hmm. Stay hydrated. Let me stay hydrated too. As for why, easy start. Every problem is hard. Uses, I believe, all 9 tiles. However, you are given your start point, and it automatically starts for you. And starting off, the problems aren't too difficult. Yeah, I guess there's some that are only 7 tiles, but generally most of them are going to end up being 9 tiles. So a little bit hard.
Wow, this one's not being nice.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There we go.
Okay, nice. There we go. Yeah. And as I said, this problem automatically starts for you. It is the only mission in the game where you don't have to press confirm a single time. You can play with just the arrow keys. Nice, yeah. You can play with just the arrow keys. So your left hand is kind of just bored, and you can use it to drink water or do whatever you want. You can press fuel if you want. All right, there we go. Got one more, nice. All right, moving on to mission 16, all for 0. Here we go. This one's a little bit interesting as well. It's kind of similar. It's kind of similar to triple nines, where you want to get the lowest number possible. You want to get as low a number as possible, close to 0, because the higher your number, the more time gets removed off the clock. This one you don't get time back for solving problems. You have 120 seconds to work with in a speedrun. That's not an issue at all. You do have to use all 9 tiles, so plan wisely. Alright, negative numbers. Here we see negative numbers. Welcome to What If Integer Math. What if integer
This is one of the hardest missions in the entire game.
Absolutely. Just thinking honestly about negative numbers just makes me But yeah, sometimes you do have to multiply them to get positives. You have positive 10 here, and then sometimes you will have to multiply and get negatives. And when that happens, you're just kind of like, what in the world am I supposed to do? Nice.
What?
Let's see. I forget myself.
No. There we go.
Okay. Nice. Negative 7 with multiplication. Why would you ever want to make someone do that. Alright.
Right.
Let's see. This one, no, this one's not
There
easy
we go.
either, is it?
Yeah, that was tricky.
Okay, there we go. -13. And then, welcome to small period, mission 18. We have decimals. You thought integer multiplication was hard. Now we have decimals. Welcome to Equaline, and it's missions 17 and 18, where some of these just don't. I don't know what they were thinking when making these sometimes. 1.46, 0.22. Yeah, you have to multiply these. In the last question, you almost always have to multiply it and then add and then multiply again, or something like that. And it is not very easy to do so.
Alright, now for my favorite mission in the game, mental arithmetic.
Mental arithmetic, where you don't get to see your Oh, do you? I don't think you do.
No.
This is just mental math. With large numbers, you have so many numbers that are larger than 10. Sometimes these get into the ranges of like 40, 50, and you have to do mental math with that. And that is not super easy. There is a little trick where you just look at the last single digit of the number, and that is helpful. It's still not easy to work through. You do have 2 minutes to work with, so usually you don't run out of time, and in a speedrun, you usually don't end up running out of time on this mission ever, but playing it normally, it's not easy, and in a speedrun, it's not uncommon to just lose time here.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I will say, if this says mental arithmetic, a lot of it is just guesswork as well.
Yeah.
Where you just kind of guess and see if it works. Alright, mission 20, gigantic target. You see the target, it's gigantic. It is in the levels of 4 digits. I don't know. Yeah, it's 4 digits. Good luck. You have to multiply with 40, 50, that level of numbers. The saving grace is that it does show up in the calculation, so you can kind of guess and see if you need to subtract or add something, which is helpful. Very helpful. It's the only reason why I can honestly clear this one. 2007. A couple more here. Then we're on to mission 21.
What? Wow. I tried like everything, and it was the last one I tried.
Yeah, it was 5. It was the right 5 at the very end. All right, equalized formula. This one's not super easy either. It's also very, very gimmicky in that you have to figure out both sides of an equation. And starting off, it's pretty easy. You just make an operation and make it equal a number. And then you get to here, you get to the second half, the back half of this mission, and then you start getting these questions where you have to equalize the formulas. Yeah, there you go. You have an operation on each side. Welcome to, if you didn't know, this game is algebra. So, alright. Yeah, some of these can get difficult, but especially just looking for something that works on both sides. Yeah, there we go. Get that 42. 4. Nice. 4 equals 4. With that, on to 22, malicious divide. You thought it was hard up to here. Welcome to division. We have decimals here too. We have decimal points here too. Every single target is a integer, but there are times where the division will temporarily give you a decimal, and you have to do math with that, and that's just not really nice to you. But it's something that you have to do occasionally. Yeah. some of these are very nice divisions. As you get closer to the back half, it becomes less and less nice divisions. And sometimes you even have to divide it and then do like add and then multiply it
Because
back to a whole
4
number.
plus 14 is 18. That's why you know that last one is right.
Yeah. And then onto real game. This one is basically just a puzzle. Every number you go through goes up by 1. Every operation you go through cycles between addition, subtraction, multiplication. And yeah, this is just the same every single time. You just kind of have to figure it out. I will leave the solution up for you to find. And now we're on to the last mission. Mission 24, Qualifying Marathon. Easily the longest of the bunch. You have 100 seconds to get 10 numbers correct. And there are 100 total numbers to find. This is a powered up version of the endless mode found in this game, where the target goes up by 1 each time. Every single solution in Qualifying Marathon will use at least 7 tiles. It can sometimes use 9. And that's not really easy to work with. There are a couple tricks to this that I'll mention later on. You also see on the very right, top right, there's the score, which I haven't touched on because it's not super important in speedrunning. And then the qualify, which is the number that you have to reach in score by the time you reach the multiple of 10, 20, 30. If you don't get to that score in the target allotted, the 10 numbers allotted, you will fail out. So you have to be careful to get, you have to be sure to get to that number. In speedruns, it doesn't really matter because you're gonna be solving them as quickly as possible anyways, and the faster you solve them, the more score you get. In normal play, this is easily the hardest mission. I think it took me like a week to clear.
Yeah, it took me a while as well.
Yeah. It's not super fast, I will say that. But speedrunners, you know, of this game get pretty good at it. Eventually get good enough to leave multiple minutes on the clock, which I can't even fathom doing that. But yeah, going up into the 30s. From here it comes, honestly, starting off going up to 10, 20-ish is the hard part for me, because you just have there's so many small numbers, so many options to go through, and then it just sometimes throws you a curveball, and you kind of don't know what to do with it. From here on out, the mid game, usually it's kind of straightforward. Sometimes it's not. But you can just guess and then look at the right, the calculation box, see if it's close, and if it is, you can kind of just move the numbers around and see what works. Yeah. See if anyone else in chat can get this quicker than either of us can. Because some of these are not easy. And some of these you just don't see the solution. And then you see it and they're like, oh, that's the solution. Yeah, this one, yeah, 43, a little trick there. You do have to end off with a subtraction or addition of an odd number.
A lot of what I'm doing is looking for factors, but some of them, some of these numbers are prime, and I can't just do that.
Yeah. Some of them are prime, and if it ends off in an addition or subtraction, then factorization doesn't really work. Because you can't, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's hard to use factors when you have addition or subtraction at the end. And we're going on into the back half of Qualifying Marathon. We're only 4 minutes in? Wow.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
My PB is a sub 8.
Welcome to Equaline speedruns. Yeah.
57 is 19 times 3. That one's interesting. Don't usually see that.
Yeah, 19 times 3. It's a pretty nice factorization for a qualifying marathon. It comes up sometimes, not super frequently, but when it does, you're usually pretty thankful because 19 by 3 isn't usually super hard to find. Yeah, another trick about qualifying marathon, it always either starts or ends in multiplication. It will never both start and end with a multiplication with addition or subtraction in between. It will never have addition and subtraction in between multiplication. It can have multiplication into addition or subtraction, or vice versa,
Nice.
start with addition, subtraction in multiplications. There will always be, I believe, at least one multiplication in the chain of 7 or 9 numbers.
Well, not for lower numbers. Not necessarily.
Not for lower numbers. Sometimes it ends with just addition or subtraction. As you get higher up, you kind of forced to use it because you only have up to 9 to work with. Speaking of which, sometimes we have 10s. All of a sudden, we have 10s to work with, and that shakes up the formula a little bit. There we go. Yeah. Some of these get harder, and you have to think about how to use 10s, 11s, 12s as you get into the back half, the latter parts of qualifying marathon. We're coming up on time. As soon as it shows, I believe it says complete.
Yeah.
At the end of qualifying marathon, that is where it.
When I answer question 100.
Okay. When you answer question 100, my bad. All right. Keep going. Yeah, we're coming up on the last few problems here. Let's see if we can't figure these out. You see the score in the top right. There's no worry about getting to the qualify. You're past 90 and you're already at the qualification for 100. There's no worry there. It's just go zoomy zoom and see if you can get it quickly.
Wow, this is a really good run. This is unusually fast.
Yeah, a really fast QM. 98.
Time.
99.
All right,
Time.
yeah, that was a sub 7, which
yeah.
okay.
55.
Wow. I'm just gonna break the facade and pretend we're not in a marathon anymore. So my record before this was a 7:43.
Jesus.
Needless to say, that was a full game PB.
Yeah. Full game PB. GG's. Wow.